Did you know that February is National Bird Feeding Month in the United States? As you can see, my feeder's empty. I'm going to show you what you should be doing to help the birds out and why you want them in your garden. Hi friends, I'm Laura. This is Double Vision Homestead, and today we're going to talk about feeding the birds and why you want birds in your garden. National Bird Feeding Month was created just to raise awareness so people would know that there's not a lot of food sources out there for birds in the winter months, especially February. It's a lean month, and what we can do to help them, and about bird watching. You can learn a lot from them, you can relax, enjoy it, be one with nature. So are birds a pest or a benefit to the garden? I would say they're both, but overall they're a benefit. So number one, they eat bugs. They also help get rid of weeds by eating the weed seeds. Sometimes that can be a pest in your garden, I guess, because they might eat your garden seeds as well. But overall, I would say that they do more for my garden than they hurt it. Number two, some of them pollinate. So hummingbirds and other small birds eat the nectar in the flowers and spread the pollen between flowers. Also, the flying of birds through trees can also spread pollen between flowers. So they help pollinate. That's why they call it the birds and the bees. They're pollinating, helping create the vegetables and fruits that we want. And last but not least, they reduce stress. Just sitting out, relaxing, watching the birds, listening to the birds. You can even feel like you have some pet birds because you get to know each one and their personalities, their songs that they sing, and they'll learn you as well. They will start being more comfortable around you, letting you get closer, chirping at you if you're too close to their feeder because they want to eat and you're in the way. It's just kind of a fun experience. So we'll talk about feeding them now. It is important to clean your feeders before you refill them. Birds aren't necessarily clean. They poop where they eat, right? So you don't want that to be spreading diseases between birds. We've had bird flu in the past few years, and we don't want to spread any diseases between them. So just clean them, refill them. So I feed them in multiple ways. I've got different bird feeders that I put bird seed in. I do the suet cakes that I put in feeders and hang from trees. And then I also I love watching the hummingbirds and having them, dive bomb me as I'm coming in the front door. So I have bird food for them as well. So I'll show you all those things, and thanks for joining me. We like to store our bird food inside of plastic containers with lids. We kind of live in the country, so there are mice, and this keeps the mice out of them. It also keeps the birds out of them because they're smart. They will find your bird food and go and peck holes in the bag and eat it without you filling the feeders. So this is one way just to protect it so it's ready for your feeders. Then we have hummingbird feeders, one of my favorite ways to watch the birds. So it is important that you get the ratio correct on filling the hummingbird feeders. They do not need the dye that you get in the pre-made stuff that you can buy from the store. It is just 4 parts water to 1 part sugar. So I just make up a batch, fill the feeders. This one, there's a cord coming from it. It is heated. There's a little light underneath, so it'll stay defrosted if necessary. It's not plugged in right now. It's just when we get really cold, I do plug it in, and the birds seem to love it. I also like using these suet cakes. So it's basically just beef suet mixed with bird seed, and so it's kind of greasy feeling. And they make these little cages that you put it in, hang it up on the tree, and the birds go crazy for them. So they're usually individually wrapped like this. They're supposed to have a high melt point. I've never had one melt off the feeder before, but they are greasy. You'll definitely want to wash your hands afterwards, but that's what it looks like. You can see the cracked corn and the sunflower seeds and whatever else is in there. They make different flavors. Supposedly different birds like different flavors, but from what I've seen, they like all of them. I haven't attracted different birds because I picked a different flavor. They all seem to go crazy for them, especially the blue jays around me. I don't know, they like this kind of thing. So all you have to do is open the feeder up, put one of these in, close it, and then it comes with a chain with a hook on the end. So I just go over a branch and then hook it, but make sure that I get the closure part of it, because otherwise it can open up. And then the birds will land on this, they'll land on the branch and hang upside down. They'll go crazy. It won't last very long. I like these feeders because they're fun to watch, but honestly, the food empties out very quickly. Don't forget water for birds. They need that too. I live in Western Washington, and this time of the year, really not that important for me to do anything for them. But if you live somewhere that gets lots of ice and freezing, you want to make sure you got a source of water that's not frozen for them. But otherwise, for me, plenty of water. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon in the garden.